Hey, welcome into the Oshner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute podcast studio here on Radio Row at Super Bowl LIV down at the Convention Center. This is kind of the heart of the Super Bowl for the week. This is another episode of NewOrleans.Football presented by PJ's Coffee. And of course, if you need a car, check out my guy Matt Bowers at one of his many locations all throughout the region. He'll get you the best cars, best prices, all that stuff. So make sure you go check out Matt for all your car needs. But yeah, there's a lot going on here right now. It's been an eventful day already. We're going to get into all that kind of stuff going on with the Saints in all the stories that broke this morning. But before we get to that, I kind of want to start here. And this is our first topic presented by Shea Bear Insurance, the Earhart Agency. It's Super Bowl week. Kellen Moore is here.
Yeah.
He's the offensive coordinator of the Eagles. Presumably, maybe, possibly by the end of the week, he'll be a member of the Saints. Do we expect him to be with the Saints when this is all over? Like, are they going to land the plane here?
I think so. I've honestly never experienced anything like this before with the super top secret. And it's not just super top secret like this is happening, embargo this. The press release is already written for Monday morning and you all know about it, but please just don't report it before that. It's the Saints can't even tell Kellen Moore that they're offering the job. Kellen Moore can't tell them he wants the job. They just need to almost read each other's vibes and be like, yeah, we're not interviewing anyone else, and we're waiting 2 more weeks, and we really liked that interview. And he's like, yeah, I really like that interview, and I'm not pulling my name out of the running. But it's not official till it's official, and we've seen, rarely, but we've seen coaches change their minds for various reasons. So I look forward to speeding up the process and having it become official, but everything seems really good. I mean, everything we can tell from our reporting, everything we can tell from their actions, it is a team that is acting like, and a coach who is acting like they're about to get married next week.
Kind of. I mean, a little bit. It seems like Mickey's vibe, like telling people they aren't going to make a decision until after the Super Bowl, is kind of like, hey, it's Kellen Moore. Like, that's kind of how it comes across, but it isn't that direct either. Like, there is a feeling of people being like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is actually going to get done or not. They're really playing it by the letter of the law. It feels like a thing where you can let someone know directly without, like, breaking the rules. It seems to happen all the time, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. And it seems like people are legitimately like, I don't know, this thing could still be open. And I'm surprised how many, like, reporters, like, believe that too. People who report a lot of news are kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's done yet. And it's a little bit surprising to see that vibe, because I thought it was kind of clear. Like, this is done, a done deal. You know, I've also heard a little bit of buzz about some coaches that would have been tied in with Kellen Moore taking other jobs because they just like, this is done and I'm going to go here. I don't know, you know, how true that is. I'm not reporting anything. That's just kind of like one of the rumors that's been floating around. So I don't know. It is kind of interesting, but more so than that, like, there is a story that comes out this morning about their involvement in the Archdiocese covering up, you know, some very serious allegations involving child molestation and all that. And the emails are out there, and, you know, just helping covering up. I don't know what the right word is, but they were involved with advising the Archdiocese of how to handle the fallout of things. And you know, there's 3 stories on this: New York Times, Associated Press, and The Guardian all have it. WWL TV in New Orleans had it. And there's some extensive reporting. And you do have to wonder, my very first thought when I heard this was, you know, the story was out there was, is this going to affect their ability to hire this coach? Because he hasn't signed anything yet, and you got to make it 7 days of, like, you know, you just kind of got to sit there and it's like, be normal, be normal, be normal, be normal. And then it's not normal. And I don't know, like, this could have some implications. Like,
if you're wondering what could lead somebody who is, for all intents and purposes, has unofficially agreed to become the head coach somewhere, what could change their mind? A story like this could be the kind of thing that could change someone's mind. I mean, these accusations have been out there for a long time, 5 years now, but I don't know that Kellen Moore had paid much attention to them or thought much about them. Now it's right there in his face, and there's, you know, more concrete evidence that it's not just accusations. There's direct evidence. Roger Goodell's going to talk later today. I don't know if the Saints could be facing any ramifications from this in the way of punishments that could affect your thinking about this job. So there is no question that this is a serious enough thing that you can't just dismiss. Oh, well, that has nothing to do with the football team. Kellen Moore wouldn't care about that. I think he would. So it's fair to wonder. There's a lot of fair to wonder right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good look. The cleanest thing going about this job was that, hey, like, it's normal in the front office and the Jets aren't. Like, that was kind of a point. And this is not a normal thing. It's not. It's out there. It's just not something that you want to be associated with.
Right.
All things considered,
100%.
Just stay away from that situation. And they kind of ran to it. And yeah, I mean, you do have to wonder what it's going to do and if there's going to be any fallout. And now Roger Goodell's going to get asked about it, and now Kellen Moore's going to get asked about it, and then Kellen Moore's going to probably get asked about it again, and then after that he's going to get asked about it again because they got to do like an hour of media access every single day, and the whole entire world's media is here, including a lot of people that cover the New Orleans Saints, and it is a question like, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Like it's not a great situation. So man, like, I just want to be able to cover football, and it's just like it's frustrating. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of fans feel frustrated. It's just frustrating because this isn't something that you got to be involved with, and you hate to see it. But yeah, I really do wonder, like, there has to be some thought in his head, like, what the hell? Like, Adam Schefter puts it out there.
Clean, yeah.
Yeah, like, you see that Schefter tweet, and it's like, oh my God, what's going on here? Like, this isn't something. And look, it could, like, he's gonna have to answer questions about something that happened with this team while he's coaching another team, like in the Super Bowl. And now, like, the players might hear about this. It's just like it's a whole messy thing. Yeah.
Messy is the right word. I mean, it was messy for them ever to get involved in the first place. The intentions behind it are messy. There's no way we can do justice talking about this, like, putting in context just how horrific the accusations against the accused in the church are, and to offer PR help and guidance no matter where your heart is. It's not even like people are connecting dots that are far off from each other. It's a terrible look, and it's a terrible thing to associate with yourself with. And here comes a person who has a choice whether or not to associate themselves with this team.
Yeah. All right, we're going to hit a quick break here, and we will be right back after this word from our sponsors. Ochsner Hospital for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine on Clearview Parkway is celebrating 5 years of exceptional achievements. The hospital's integrated team has successfully performed over 20,000 surgeries using the latest in cutting-edge technology. With nationally recognized services and impactful partnerships, they continue to lead the advancement of orthopedic and sports medicine care in our region.
Rouse's Markets is voted best grocery store in New Orleans, best grocery store in Baton Rouge, Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Thibodaux, Houma, Hammond, Lake Charles, Mobile, year after year. Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast. Number one. Thank you.
Thank you.
The number one grocery store
In Mississippi, Alabama,
Louisiana. 1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
The NewOrleans.Football show is proudly presented by PJ's Coffee. PJ's Coffee has some of the best drinks that you can find. They have locations all over the city. They have pastries and everything else you need to get your day started. So go check them out. NewOrleans.Football is proudly sponsored by Urban South Brewery, the makers of Paradise Park Lager. I love supporting local breweries, and when looking for a refreshing, easy drinking beer, I always recommend Paradise Park. In fact, I think it might be the best game day beer out there. If you want something a little lighter, try Paradise Light. It's everything I love about Paradise Park with just 96 calories and 2.6 carbs. And if you're looking for a family-friendly place to watch the game, I'd recommend Urban South's Tap Room in the Lower Garden District. They've got 15 TVs, 30 unique beers on tap, and mouth-watering urban smash burgers. The whole family will want to make Urban South their new living room, because at Urban South, they take laid back seriously. Looking for the best insurance coverage at the lowest price? Look no further than Chabert Insurance, the Earhart Agency. They are a local independent insurance agency right here in New Orleans, specializing in home, flood, and auto insurance. At Chabert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, their dedicated team will shop every available carrier in the market, ensuring you get the most comprehensive coverage at the lowest possible price. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Trust Shawbear Insurance, the Earhart agency, to protect what matters most to you. I do. I've been a client of theirs since 2021. Call them today at 504-326-6526 or visit them online at Protected by Shawbear. That's 504-326-6526. Shawbear Insurance, the Earhart agency, your local insurance experts. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is an 86 proof blend of aged wheat bourbon, American light whiskey, and fresh Ponchatoula strawberries. Blended in New Orleans, it is not for the thin-skinned. Look for it in your favorite stores, bars, and restaurants. NewOrleans.Football is proud to be sponsored by Firehouse Subs. Make sure you check out their location on Veterans Boulevard. Attention Saints fans, don't let pests and termites invade your home field. Trust the team at Red Pest Solutions to tackle those unwelcome visitors. Call the Red Man today for unbeatable pest and termite control. Score peace with no pest. Visit redpest.com, REDDPEST.com. Welcome back to the Oshner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute podcast studio here on Radio Row at Super Bowl LIV. LIV?
No.
What is
that
it?
was the Saints.
Liv was the one a while.
XLIV was the Saints.
What Super Bowl is it? LIX. LIX. There we go. We got it up there. All right. Why don't this
the
is
Saints
59.
were XLIV. This is just LIX.
They're at Super Bowl 59. Like, we could do away with this at this
Do you remember
point.
what
Let's
50
just use
was?
numbers.
You know when they should have done away with it? Super Bowl 50 was Super Bowl L.
Yeah, get rid of that
was
one.
that.
Yeah.
That's when they realized we didn't think this through.
It's time to move on.
It's time to move. Wait, so what will 60 be?
You know what they need to do?
LX. Next year it'll be LX.
I don't know if they can see the logo. Like, I don't even know if we're allowed to show the logo, like with whatever. But like, I like that they put some personality back in it.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's been very silver.
Have you heard about the conspiracy theory that the colors? Okay, Brandon's already pointed. Of course, Brandon knows this. My kids swear. So this is my kids for you. They're very online, like Brandon over here. They said the colors in the logo that comes out like way before the season even starts always end up representing the two teams in the game. But people found out about this last year, so to throw everyone off the scent, they purposely put two teams in the Super Bowl that didn't match the colors. But now it's back to matching again with the Eagles and the Chiefs. That's their theory. Brandon, you agree?
I do, in fact, agree. I feel that the colors...
It's all scripted.
It was predetermined. I mean, I already kind of figured that the Chiefs were going, but
yeah. All right.
I knew
It's all
shenanigans
scripted.
were afoot.
It's all scripted.
Last year, we were watching the season opener. It was the season opener, the Monday Night Football game.
Yes, the Monday Night Football
the Jets
opener.
game.
Yes.
And he had a whole conspiracy about the Aaron Rodgers thing that he told
The
me
Achilles?
before the game. Just
That's
this
right.
whole thing about the Jets. And I'm
They were
not
going to win the Super Bowl?
No.
Oh.
I'm not going to get into all of it, but there was a lot of tie-in with other alleged people that allege conspiracies tied into other things, and he laid out this like 12-minute thing.
Sure.
And I was just like in my head the whole time, just thinking like, this dude needs to shut the hell up. Like, this is absurd. Please stop talking. And he told me at the end, he's like, Aaron Rodgers is going to go down the Jets, like New York, the whole thing. And lo and behold, he got hurt.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
So he's a truth teller over there.
No. I would not go that far.
He's just a man with his third eye open.
Yeah, I saw.
Let me ask you guys
saw
this,
the
though.
line and
The NFL is supposedly scripted. The refs are supposedly... I've got two storylines going on once when I'm online. The refs let the Chiefs win every time as they're directed to by the NFL, and nobody wants to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. So why would you... Is
Who
this
doesn't
good?
want to see the Chiefs in the Super
like
Bowl
everybody's like, again? They
Yeah,
want to
but they
see
get
the
ratings.
Bills. They want to see the Ravens. Is this like better for the NFL, better for the ratings to have the Chiefs in another Super
Yeah.
Bowl? I feel like the Bills would have
For
been the
sure.
better. I feel like the NFL would have wanted the Bills in this
If you
game,
can have
no?
a guy that can be the hero / the villain at the same time, nobody shows up to watch. You know, nobody wants to see Clever Lang. Like, they're going to see Rocky. Like, so you create the person, and then you have enough success that people just tune
Just
into
making
hate.
sure.
Like,
I
people
feel like
tune
if the
into hate.
NFL
Yeah.
got to handpick the teams in this game, they might have picked the Bills over the Chiefs. No? No? I guess I'm wrong.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No,
All
I don't
right.
think so. No, I mean,
I'm okay with the Chiefs being in the game. I like dynasties, but I feel like the general public, like, I mean, that was a big thing going on. I'm rooting for neither team. Like, I don't want to see these same teams again. But,
yeah, no, but I think that, like, I would tune in to hate on Alabama. You know, like
Sure.
I didn't want to see
Sure.
Alabama win. I
Sure.
would tune in
Sure.
to hate.
Okay.
You know, I was
So does
covering
that
the-
make the Eagles the hero of this story? Is the Eagles Rocky?
Yeah, I mean,
Philadelphia?
they're the underdog. Yeah,
All right.
like if you can have like a a Goliath and a David. I mean, it's biblical, man.
All right,
Like, yeah,
all right,
I mean, I
all
think
right.
I think that's good. You get your branding. They're out there. Mahomes is the face of the league. You tie into all the Taylor Swift stuff. Like, they absolutely want him in that game.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
I know
yeah,
they
that
wanted
would
him to beat Houston, but I
Sure.
didn't know if they wanted him to necessarily beat Buffalo.
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right,
I think so. All right, we are now into the hard hide topic here. Make sure you get yourself a bottle of hard hide. How did the Saints prevent another Zack Baun incident from happening again?
They had a long history of this never happening. There was about 15 years went by where they were like, the only two players that it ever happened with were Rob Ninkovich. That was a famous story. Ha, ha, ha. We had him twice. We tried to make him a long snapper. It was a cute story. And then they had a fullback. I'm totally forgetting the guy's name now. He went on to be like an all-pro fullback for the Ravens. But it never happened. It just never happened to this team. They even had players leave and have zero success elsewhere. Robert Meacham very famously with the Chargers. And now it's just a landslide. And you can't ignore it. You cannot ignore it. I don't know what we're supposed to believe the cause is. Like, Zack Baun playing at this level would have really, really, really helped the Saints. So what is it about the Saints who had this vision for him in the first place, like made them blind to the fact that he could help them more than Pete Werner? I don't get it. He was right there for them, and they just felt like Pete Werner was better. I don't get it. I know with Trey Hendrickson that they just didn't believe it. Trey Hendrickson was not very good for 3 years, and then when he broke out in his fourth year, they did not believe what they saw, and they have obviously missed that. I don't get the Zack Baun. I wish I could say, well, here's their problem. They did this wrong, and that's what they should never do again. Like, I don't get it. I don't know how they couldn't see it. They were there every day. How could this guy be that good and them not see it? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing. You gotta see it. You gotta have somebody that can see it. You gotta locate the talent better. Yeah, I don't know how it happened. It's a mystery to me. It's baffling that you could have someone like that in your building for all them years. I mean, we did see it a couple times, but it was always, like they had a really good preseason game, but it was never like specifically overwhelming. And then he followed up that preseason game the next week, and I don't think it was that good. But you have to be able to see it in your building. I mean, I kind of understand how the Hendrickson one happened. Like, I think that one was just, they treated him like a joke. Like, They really did. They just didn't. They treated him as if he were a joke, and it was kind of talked about
internally.
Yeah,
actually, like off the record, on the record, they did not believe he was a real. Like, they didn't. I don't even think they made him an offer. It wasn't that they got outbid. They were just like,
he's getting a lot of cleanup sacks and all that. Is kind of how I was looked at. But yeah, the Bond thing though, I think you just have to give people opportunity somehow and believe what you're seeing and maybe feed those opportunities. But I don't know. It's baffling to me. I don't know how you prevent it from happening again, but I know it can't happen again. And I think the first line of defense is the position coach. Like, they got to see it. I would say, and I've said this before, I think one of the biggest knocks on DA is that he didn't really like young players.
Sure.
So, I mean, maybe having a path for those guys to contribute a little bit more could help, be more open-minded to it or whatever. But it's a
little bit of a moot point because they're all gone. I mean, Michael Hodges is in Cincinnati. Yeah. Dennis Allen's in Chicago. We don't know who the defensive coordinator is going to be, but it will be all different people.
But if you're running the team, if you're Mickey Loomis, you gotta look at this, learn from it, and say, all right, like, we gotta have checks and balances in effect here, because this has happened twice now.
Yeah.
And if you add both these guys to the team, it's a different outlook.
We don't lump C.J. Gardner-Johnson into this conversation. He's also here this week because they basically cut him for insubordination. Like, they were aware he was a talented player, but they didn't want to deal with him, and they got rid of him for the first day 3 draft pick a team would throw their way. But that is another miss. That is another team decided they could work with him. So it's just piling on. Everything this team is doing is turning to dust these days, including the players they're letting out of the building without question.
All right, rolling on into our next topic, presented by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, out here at the Super Bowl, gets you thinking big picture, what can be, what can't be. This is probably more of a what can't be. But realistically, 10 wins gets you into the dance. You get into the dance, you can do what Washington did, and maybe you even finish it off. But, like, how far away are the Saints from not the Super Bowl, but 10 wins?
First of all, Vontae Leach. I was sitting over here.
Vontae Leach.
I don't know if anyone remembers the name Vontae Leach, but that's how rare it was that I can't even remember the name of someone that they like. All right, how far away are they from 10 wins? I hope really far, because I hope that they take this opportunity to lean into the rebuild a little bit, or to speed up the rebuild. I feel like if the ultimate goal was winning 10 games this year, it could be done. I feel like you could keep Derek Carr, you could bring in Kellen Moore, you could keep everybody on the current roster, which they might do anyway, Alvin Kamara, DeMario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu. You could add your Justin Simmons type, you could sign your Chase Young. Like, you could have the exact same offseason as last year, and if you're a little healthier, maybe you could go 10-7 and win the NFC South. I think it is somewhat possible. But I want them to stop chasing it. I was okay with them chasing it a couple years ago when they had 5 All-Pros in their prime still. I was sort of okay with it last year when they had 5 Pro Bowlers still close to their prime. They just don't have that anymore. It's time to, like, if they want to be like, hey, Kellen Moore, guess what? You can become we can follow the Denver Broncos blueprint, and within like 2 years, you can have your quarterback and you can be a team on the rise. If you go chasing 10 wins this year, you're saying, well, it'll be 3 years till you can have that now, and I just don't want to delay that process anymore.
Yeah, I think realistically they're closer to 10 now than they will be 2 years from now. You know, like that's the thing. I think you can hit 10 probably. Not, I think it's realistic to hit 10 next year, and I know a lot of people have like that I've talked to in my life are like, no, like absolutely not. And yeah, I think so. I mean, like if you had a healthy team and some depth, like you can hit 10. But a year from now, if you just hang on to that, everybody's old as hell. Like they're already old as hell. Like,
but it is a year from now.
Yeah, but it's like they're old as hell now. But like a year from now, it's like the dog with the cataracts in the eyes and everything. Like it's like real old.
I think they're the dog with the cataracts in their eyes now.
Right. The dog with the cataracts in their eyes, but then like the hearing goes and you walk up behind the dog and like you touch them and they jump and they're like, oh man, you're in the room. Like they stop barking at the door. Like I think a year from now, that's where they're at. Shout out to Shireen.
My dogs are peeing in my house.
My girl's getting old, man. But yeah, no, I think that's probably a year from now. I think they're really old.
They could have won 10. I don't know if anyone disagrees with this. I think if you push a reset button on the Nintendo machine, they could have won 10 this year if they didn't have a colossal amount of injuries. I'm not saying that's noble. I'm not saying that should have been a goal. I'm saying this team could have won 10. They started 2-0. They were almost 3-0. They almost beat the Eagles and the Commanders. Like, is there a reality where they could have been a 10-17 this year? Yeah. It's the at what cost part of this conversation, and it's time to stop chasing. They missed their window. I get why they chased it in 21, 22, 23. Stop chasing. Please stop chasing.
I expect them to keep chasing it. Yeah. I do. We're going to see, though. We'll find out what they're going to do. We won't get any insight from Kellen Moore on that this week as he's going to play dumb. But, yeah, it'll be interesting once we finally can find out. We're going to hit a quick break here, and we'll be back with the Martin's question of the day. Total Maintenance is one of the largest locally owned home and commercial service providers in South Louisiana and serve the greater New Orleans and Baton Rouge markets. They have a membership program that gets you 2 tune-up visits for AC and heating, as well as club membership discounts of 15% on all repairs, half off of all diagnostic charges, and 3-year warranties on most repairs for membership clients. This is usually priced at the low price of $24.95 a month per system, but if you tell Total Maintenance that you found them through NOF, they'll lower the price to $20.95 per month per system for as long as you keep the membership active. Services include AC and heating service and replacement, electrical service, plumbing service, as well as generator service and installation. They are Total Maintenance. Find them at tm-ac.com or give them a call at 504-841-3300, or if you're in the Baton Rouge area, 225-480-1000. Martin's is your go-to destination for everything merry and bright this holiday season. From an unmatched selection of bourbon, whiskeys, and wines to gourmet food, gift baskets, and catering, Martin's has all your holiday needs covered. Family owned and operated since 1946, Martin's knows the perfect ways to celebrate this season with loved ones. Visit them in Metairie, New Orleans, or Baton Rouge, or shop online for the ultimate convenience. Whether you're raising a glass or looking for the perfect holiday gift, make it an easy and cheerful holiday with Martin's.
Here at the Queen Casino, indulgence knows no bounds. Prepare your taste buds for an extraordinary culinary journey. Start your day at Capital Coffee. Craving something different? 3 Walks Noodle Bar offers a tantalizing selection of Asian delights. At 1717 Kitchen and Cocktails, savor American cuisine with a twist. Or ascend to the loft for an elevated experience. Enjoy artesian grazing boards and exquisite craft cocktails. Join us at the Queen Casino. Your royal adventure awaits.
Welcome back to the Oshner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute podcast studio here on Radio Row at Super Bowl LIX. We are now,
look up there.
Yeah, I did. I'm going to be doing that all week. It's now time for the Martin's question of the day. Martin's is home to a wide selection of hand-picked barrel select bourbon, whiskeys, and more. Martin's, so much more than just wine. I do have a question of the day here, and it is, if the Saints head coach hires a defensive coordinator that makes a significant scheme switch, i.e. 4-3 to 3-4, does that change the Saints' priority of which holes they have to fill this offseason?
I would say no, only because they need to replace everybody on the entire defensive line anyway. I think there's room for both Demario Davis and Pete Werner in a 3-4 in the middle. You need edge rushers in, but you already need edge rushers no matter which scheme you run. Good corners are good corners in either scheme. Yes, obviously now you need the nose tackle who can make something like that go. Brian Brzee probably has to become a 3-4 end, but I think you already need 3 new defensive linemen anyway, so now you would just need a big nose tackle and 2 edge rushers instead. Either way, it's a glaring hole no matter what scheme you run.
I think
might be the time to do it for that reason.
Yeah, I think you got massive needs if you do this, because I don't know if you have anybody that fits it besides the middle linebackers.
Yeah.
Honestly, you don't have the nose. You don't really have the 3-4 ends. Like Brzee isn't good enough against the run to kind of do that. And now you're fuck. Whoa. Whoa, got a little passionate there. But now you're asking someone to do more than they're already doing in that scheme, covering more gaps, covering more space. I don't like it with the guys they got. I think you kind of got to start over, but that's not a reason not to do it. The reason to do it would be that exactly what you said is that you haven't built a house. You just got a bunch of materials on the ground. You can change the blueprint. Might have to get some more materials, but at least you haven't gotten you are kind of starting over from
there was look when Rob Ryan came in here with the 3-4 defense. You had Will Smith in the last year of his career, but you also had prime Cam Jordan, and those guys did not really fit a 3-4.
Yeah,
they just didn't, and that made it a tricky concept. I don't think it's a trick.
Doesn't really fit.
What's that?
Granderson doesn't really fit, but that's
I did forget about Granderson. Yeah, he doesn't really fit anywhere. I guess he's edge. He's added a lot of weight over the years. When he first came here, he was about 250, but he's not your dream scenario for a 3-4 edge, but I guess that's what he would do. I don't know that Brian Brzee couldn't be a 3-4 end.
He could, but I'm just saying the skill set isn't quite even as a DT and there's just things he's doing now where it's you got to get better against the run. The vision's got to be a little bit better.
Neither of those guys is a reason
not
to
a little
do
bit.
it.
I just kind of feels like you got to do more. But look, I could be completely wrong on that, but it just feels like his weaknesses get
Exacerbated,
louder. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Are the edge rushers? I mean, look, we're talking about this theoretically. I don't even know that it'll happen. I don't know how many 3-4s there are in the league right now. What do you think it is? 8, 10?
I don't know.
It used to be a lot more rampant.
There's a lot. I mean, it's been a lot more 4-3. Look, one of the things that's interesting is though, if you go that way and a lot of people aren't doing it, guys that fit that really well are actually a little bit cheaper because the market isn't as strong the other way. So you can maybe maximize your value a little bit on some of that stuff.
One thing is interesting is Jeff Ireland is still the college scouting director, and Jeff Ireland, even though he came later in the process, he came in 2016 and really got involved in the 2017, or he came in 2015, really got involved in the 2016-27 drafts. He believed in the Parcells, Peyton, Dennis Allen as fervently as any of those guys in the this is a big man's game, big linebackers, big defensive players. So it'll be interesting how he would change his scouting to let the 240-pound edge rushers back into the process, if it came to that. I mean, we're talking about this, I assume, because Brandon Staley is one of the candidates, but that's not necessarily a done deal. So
have we never had an F-bomb on the show? I don't think we have.
We've had him.
Have we had an F-bomb on the show?
Brought a lot of attention to it.
You sure?
Do the streams count?
Well, no, the streams don't count.
No,
I think the show.
Yeah, it's popped in there.
The stream's different. People are paying us to be professional.
No, for sure. No, I definitely think we have had one. We told it to the line.
I can't believe I've never dropped one because
I
you
think it
only
was you.
dropped
I
the F and
definitely
the
think it
U.
was you.
I drop
You
a lot.
stopped halfway
no,
through
no,
the
I never-
word.
No, we didn't get there. No, that doesn't count.
No,
Like,
not today. No,
like
no,
you
no,
can
no.
you can cross the line, but like if they don't snap it, it's not like you can get back before.
Yeah.
Like it's good. You won't get flagged. So like
Well,
we
but
got
the problem
back before.
is you self-reported. You
Yeah, but-
self-reported.
Well, I reported that I got away with it. That I
Okay,
outsmarted
okay,
the officials. Yeah.
okay.
No, that's what I'm doing right here.
Okay.
Yeah. But I can't believe we never had one. All right. Well, anyways, we don't got one today. We're still clean. So
No, we got a super chat actually. The super chat question is: good afternoon, fellas. It's time for us to start having a conversation about potential change in ownership. Could this I mean, we kind of went over that in the beginning, but shout out to Frank for the super chat. Appreciate you, man.
shout out to Frank. All right. That's going to do it for today. No F-bombs. We're still clean. We'll be back tomorrow to keep our streak going. Are we going tomorrow or Wednesday? We'll be back Wednesday to keep the streak going. Might hit a netcast tomorrow for the members, so make sure you sign up for the site. I don't know what the schedule really looks like out here, but we got a lot of stuff to do. So we'll get one of those in this week at some point. But
We'll have
appreciate-
2-hour-long conversations with Kellen Moore in the books by the next time we talk to everyone, probably.
Yeah. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Roger Goodell talks today at 3. There'll probably be some, imagine some questions there. So, yeah, just keep it locked, and we'll have all your coverage.